get an assignment for 15.8. 15.8 is called probability. The main focus is sample spaces and events. So a sample space is basically just going to be the set of all possible outcomes of a random event. And then the definition for an event is any subset of possible outcomes. And then a simple event is when an event is a single element of the sample space. So we've got two examples here. The first one has 3 parts, okay, and then the second example has, 5? Okay, so example number 1, the first box, or one box, contains a red marble and a blue marble. And then a second box contains a red marble, a blue marble, a yellow marble, and a green marble. One marble is drawn from each box. So the first thing they want us to do for part A is to specify the sample space. Okay? So that just means you're going to list what each of the options are. So if the first box just has a red marble or a blue marble, so you could pull a red marble out of the first one, and we're just going to use R. We're not going to write up the whole word red. Okay? And then the second box has red, blue, yellow, or green. So with the red, you could also get another red. Or with the red, you could get a blue. Or with the red, you could get a yellow. Or with the red, you could get a green. Okay? But out of the first box, you could pull a blue, right? So with blue, you could pull a red. I meant to write R. Or with the blue, you could pull a blue. Or with the blue, you could pull a yellow. Or with the blue, you could pull a green. Okay, so that's the sample space. Those are the 8 options you could have of the different things you could pull out of the 2 boxes. So one box, one and one box together. Okay, cool. All right, so part B. This time they want you to specify the event that exactly one marble is blue. So if you look in this second row right here, we've got blue and red, blue and blue, which that wouldn't be just one blue, right? And then blue and yellow, blue and green. But you also have this red and blue up here. So you actually have 4 choices. You have the red and blue. You have the blue and red. Blue and blue, that you can't count that one because that's going to be 2 blues. Blue and yellow. And blue and green. Okay. That's when you have exactly one marble that is blue. Part C says specify the event that at least one marble is red. Okay, so you have to have at least one marble that's red. Could you have 2 marbles that are red in this one? Yes, so just the slightly different wording. This one says exactly 1, this one says at least 1. Okay, so you could have the red red. You could have the red blue. Obviously the red yellow, the red green. And what else do we have red up here? A blue red. And that's it. Hi. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Any questions so far, especially in distinguishing between the B and the C? Does everybody understand the difference between the B and the C, the slightly different wording to see the, okay, awesome. Example number 2, different situation. This time we're going to have a coin that is tossed and then a die that is rolled. So it's just a regular coin. It's not like a trick magic coin or anything. It's just a heads and a tails, and it's weighted correctly, so it's not going to flip on one side more than the other. And same thing with the die. It's just a regular dice. It's got 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, part A, specify the sample space. So we're going to have, let's say we've got a heads first. So you can have the heads with a 1, heads with a 2, heads with a 3, heads with a 4, heads with a 5, and heads with a 6. Okay. Same thing with the tails. Tails 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, part B. Specify the event that the coin comes up heads. Okay, so that's just the first row here. So heads 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Part C, specify the event that the die comes up even. So we have some heads with evens, so the heads 2, 4, 6, and then some tails with the even, so tails 2, 4, 6. Part D, specify the event that the coin is heads and the die is even, so just this first row here, right? So heads 2, 4, 6. And then part E, specify the event that the coin is heads and the die is even. Isn't that the same thing?
Oh,
Did I type it?
What?
Oh, this should be or. Sorry, this should say or. The die is even. This one says and. Okay, so that's the difference. Sorry, that should say or, not of. Okay, so it could be heads or the die could be even. So heads, you could have odds as well. So heads 1, 2, heads 1 through 6.
No, it's or. It can't be and.
D was and. E is or. That's the difference between the two.
Exactly. If it's both, then it's and, not or.
On D, it has to be heads and even.
What she's saying, because like, is it asking that like only one can appear at a time, like only the odds of the heads?
Yeah.
No, so out of all these right here, it has to be. So for D, it has to be heads and even. So it can only be the heads 2, 4, and 6. This one, it could be or. So this one, you can have tails even. So tails 2, 4, 6.